done it.
Well, talking about other antics and stuff, all the other stuff you get roped into, we do kind of get you roped into other things.
Michelle, the thing that you've got me roped into this time, actually I got myself into this before you did, is, well, she had a client who called me to come in and paint their home, and they're selling their home, blah, 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 blah. And they just got a ton of crap. A ton. I mean, I can't even describe it to you.
Let's rewind. Wonderful clients. They have lived in this property for what?
I love them, but they've got a ton of crap.
Years. Listen, if you're living in a house for 40 or 50 years, you will accumulate stuff.
You accumulate it in one day.
You automatically do it. Right?
One day.
Right.
One day.
Well, that's what we're coming up against. But it's fine. It's just that when you want to sell your house, you have to downsize some of your stuff. You have to get rid of it. You have to figure out what you're doing. So you have the keep pile, the giveaway pile,
yeah,
the throwaway pile, and the sell pile.
Exactly. Well, I kind of had a heart for these people because they're not, like, computer lit. Not that I am, but they're not on social media or anything like that. So I offered to list some of their things on Marketplace, you know, so that they could at least get the ball rolling.
Right, because they're not tech savvy.
Yeah, you know, oh boy, did that ball get rolling. That ball just kept on rolling, so I really shot myself in the foot.
So it was a paint job that turned into...
a nightmare.
It's not a nightmare.
A never-ending nightmare.
Well, it's okay. You're doing a good thing. They're happy. They're wonderful people. They're very happy with you.
Everybody's wonderful, Michelle. Everybody's wonderful.
It's work, but I mean, you're doing... So she's doing a little bit more of a service to get the homeowner money.
Yes.
Cash for stuff.
And they don't have to stress out about picking the stuff up and throwing it out and all that, you know, like, where they're going to deal with it. They're out, you know, they're older.
Let's talk about that a little bit. What do you do with the stuff?
What do you do with it?
Like what we were trying to guide them to.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, of course, you know, we're going to try to sell off some of the stuff that we can, if people will take it. And then, of course, there's Habitat, which is restored. You know, they take a lot of stuff. They donate books to libraries. He's brought a lot of stuff to the dump. There's been metal and copper and stuff that he sold to,
oh, that's good.
Sold to the junkyard or whatever
they
the
get
heck.
Money for that. Yeah.
But, like, I'm talking about, like, furniture, bigger items that people just can't move easily.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
And they didn't want to take it with them.
Oh, no, these people are not going to take it with them. They already have a house in Florida, as you know.
Right.
And it's already furnished, so...
Right, so they don't need it.
Been interesting because when I do this, nobody realizes that I gotta, you know, if I get somebody reaching out to me, I have to make sure that they're legit, first of all, because there's a lot of scammers out there. And there's a lot of killers out there, I believe that too.
Yeah, you gotta be careful who you're talking to on.
Yeah, you know, and I think somebody's legit, and then we'll be talking about a certain piece of furniture, and when you want to get it, this whole, I'd like to get it and stick it in you. I'm like, okay, well, you know, you're done, so delete.
Oh, wow.
So,
people are, just, okay.
And my phone will go off at like midnight.
I mean, it's funny because of the way you say it, but
I know, but I'm just
creepy.
like, okay, they don't know who they're talking to because I'm just as crazy as them, so they better just move on. Okay, they better just move on now. This couple, they just love what I'm doing for them, and I know they appreciate it.
Of course they do.
You know, they like to fight me on some things still, but we're moving forward.
The thing is, too, that you're dealing with people that they're older.
Yeah, and they're set in their ways. They're set in their ways.
So you're trying to help them get rid of some stuff, and sometimes it's hard for them to let go.
It is, and they want to hold on, you know, for as long as they can, even though they're leaving and going to their home in Florida, which sometimes I have to, like, put them in check and be like, do you really care? You're going. And, like, it almost seems like they forget. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think because a part of it is that they're still living in the property. When you're living in a property, I mean, obviously, I have a few clients right now that are, I think this one guy, he's great. He got rid of all of his living room furniture. After we took all the pictures and staged the house and everything, and got it online, we have a deal and whatever. He got rid of everything. He's sitting on a chair in his living room.
Right.
Which is fine, but he wanted to do that because he's another one that's moving away. And he didn't want to bring anything with him. He wanted a fresh start. And
But you're looking at them like, okay, see, that's what I wish part of these clients would do, because I know that, like, okay, so for an example, they had a dining room table, they had a kitchenette thing, this is where they sat. Within, like, the first week, that's gone. Okay, well, where are we gonna sit? I really don't give a shit. I don't care if you sit on the floor. Okay.
Well, we can.
But I have to say it this way, because then they're like, oh, and then of course, we're gonna go down and get the card table and some folding chairs.
Smart. That was smart, though.
Yeah, and I'm like, do you think?
Because they can take the card table with them if they wanted to, or it's easy to get rid of.
They have 10 down there. How many do we need?
Well, I'm saying it's easier to get rid of. It's easier to get rid of.
Yeah, but I'm like, okay, and they can move it, which is even better. Okay, that's fine, but I told them, by the time I'm done with this, I'm going to allow your bedroom to stay, because I know you people have to sleep on something until it's gone.
They're still living there.
Okay, and a TV. That's it. What else do you possibly need? You know you're moving.
Yeah.
Okay, and then of course, the wife, my sister-in-law could use you too, blah, 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 but she's right down the street.
But that was a good referral.
A referral, Michelle, on an added thing that I don't normally do.
Well, that is true.
So now I'm doing it.
Roped into doing a few more things. But you know what? It's limited on who you do that for. It's not like you can do that for everybody.
No, but if they ask me now that they've seen this freaking video, if they ask me, or their mind starts to turn, we don't have to worry about this. Just have her do it.
But you're actually getting pretty good at it.
I just can't wait.
Yes, you know what? That's a perk to our clients, right?
Yeah.
That's an extra added perk that other people don't do. Here we go again. We're setting the bar here, and we're doing extra things. And this is why people enjoy working with us, because we do go the extra mile.
Yeah, and it was my brainstorm, Michelle.
I had nothing.
I happened to just be there.
She can't throw me under the bus. It was all her doing that she wanted to help out. And therefore, she opened the door, and we walked right through it.
That's right, because I felt bad for this old couple. Yes. I don't feel bad for them anymore.
Yes, you do. You still care. You still do.
Caring and feeling
She's such a toughie, but she's got the softest heart.
Caring and feeling bad for them are two different things. Do I care about them? Yes. Do I feel bad for them now at this point? No.
Yeah, but what do you feel bad? You're not feeling bad for anything. You're just trying to help them.
I understand, but I'm done helping them now, okay? This is it, okay? I mean, I have a few more
you're almost done with that anyway. Like, you're at
right.
the end of
yeah, because this one particularly, once we get what we need, going or whatever, then there's no more that they're going to put on. The other one, they have more to put on still.
Right. But they're doing a great job too, because
they have
collectible stuff and stuff
they
like that.
They have collectible stuff. They have a lot of big pieces of machinery.
Right.
Gyms. I mean, it just goes way above. And more modern stuff too. Not that the other stuff is bad. It's just that it's more.
Right.
It's more old.
They lived a blessed life. Right?
Yeah.
And
I think they both did.
A full life. They both did. And so they're just getting rid of a lot of it's good quality stuff. It's nice stuff. They have nice taste.
Yes. And the older couple, the first one, they've been great, because he will load up the car and go to the dump. Load up the car and go to restore.
And that's a lot. That's a lot of them.
Yeah. And he's back and forth. Go to a shredding place. I didn't even know that existed.
I didn't either.
And they shredded them all for him.
Wow, that's cool.
So I was like, oh, good to know.
I still don't know if I trust that, but that's,
Well, if you're shredding it, who gives a shit? I know. But at this point...
we still care.
No, but I mean...
No, I know what they're saying. They have to get rid of the stuff.
If it's overwhelming... 1929, nobody gives a shit.
So listen, I actually had a client that had so much paperwork from when they bought the house in like 1950.
See?
1940 something or whatever. Had the original documents. I mean, those are cool. If you, I like old paper, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
See that, like the old stuff. Obviously, every single bill that you've ever had for the house, you don't really need to have that.
Oh, but I love that.
But boxes of stuff, like,
And then they'll get their glass.
And they gotta go through every paper.
Hold on, dear. I remember. I did do that in 1935.
They remember.
I know. God bless these people, man.
Yes, they remember.
1935. Let me go through my paperwork. I'll be right back. Meanwhile, I'll have a cookie. Meanwhile, you're eating the whole freaking tray of cookies because this lady's still in there playing around with trying to find paperwork from 1935.
The sharpest tax. The sharpest tax. I love that generation. I love the downsizer generation, like, you know, baby boomers before the baby
Like our parents' age.
Yeah, or
type of
before,
thing.
even before
Yeah.
that. Like, I love those generations.
Yeah.
Love them. Love working with them. Lovely people, have morals, have, you know, they appreciate what you're doing.
Some of them are stubborn, man. Some of them
I
hit
love
you with
that.
your cane.
I love the
Some
stubborn.
of them will hit you with the cane. I told you that.
But you know what? I love that because you know where they are, where they stand with you. They're not faking phonies.
Oh, no. But then you got the wife running with her little walker to go beat the crap out of the husband because he hit you with the cane. I love that. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go clean this room and I'll be back by the time you're done beating.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's see who survives that.
That's my new venture. My new, let's
She took
add
it on
this to
herself. I had nothing to do with that.
No, but you did in a way. Now you're like, oh, I think we should do this.
Wait, indirectly, I had something to do with that.
Very supportive.
Because they were my clients in the start, and then, you know, obviously.
Right. Very supportive of the whole idea you are, Michelle.
I am
Always.
supportive of that 'cause
Always.
it helps my clients.
Always, because you're like, yes, this stuff's getting out of there. Meanwhile, I'm the one who's suffering.
Well, I got to get ready. I got to get the house prepped.
Okay.
I have to get the house prepped for sale.
At my
we have to get the
expense.
photographer. We have to get the drone footage. I got to do a video.
Okay, at my mental expense is what it is.
I'm sure I'm going to pay for that.
You might. You might. That's something new on my list. I don't seek to do it, but if people ask me to do it, I guess I'll do it. I can't, you know, once you do it for one, you can't do it for another, right?
Out of your mouth.
Yeah, I know.
Out of the mouth of babes.
Well, of course, we'll screen them first to see what kind of people they are.
Depends on who it is.
Unless I'm working there, then that's different, you know?
Well, listen, if you get the paint job, then you kind of get to know the people. You're with them more than I am.
Oh,
You're definitely with them more
lucky me.
I mean, when I get to, like, I'll stop by more than normal. Like, I had this one client, and I love this guy. I've known him for a long time. He was selling a property, Lake Peekskill, I think it was. And, you know, I did all the work that I do that you know that I do. Like, I go meet them first.
Right.
I'll bring somebody with me to what they should do for staging.
Right. Talk for 3 hours and I'm done in like 10 minutes.
Right. Got the photographer there, did drone footage, did a video, went to the house like 3 or 4 times before I had the house listed. And he's sold other houses before. He's bought and sold other houses before. And I got the highest compliment from him because he said, "You are the only real estate broker that has ever come back to the house. More than
Right.
just coming, signing, listing,
Oh, yeah.
and that's it. That has
yeah.
come back, has checked on things, whatever, has gone back quite a few times. Even when if I'm in the area driving by and I know, I'll just say, hey, I'm just want to check on it, see how you guys are doing, how's it going,
Yeah.
whatever. And they'll be, oh, come on over, and I'll stop by. The only one out of all the people that he's ever worked with, he said, and you know what, that was a huge compliment to me because just what I do.
Yeah, no, well, I
It's
feel the
not
same
like-
way, Michelle. It's just what we do.
It's just what you do. Like, we work the same. Not a lot of people do that.
No.
It's just what we do. So we don't expect it. When somebody else looks at the perspective of it from their point of view and tells you that, then
Yeah.
it's like, you know, it makes you think like, oh, nobody else does this. And you're like, wow, well, that was a really high compliment then.
Yeah,
know?
I've been there because painting for the old-time painters.
Oh.
Oh,
You know they're
man,
watching
you. Talk
you.
about shaking the brush now
You know
because
that-
then I have a pretty steady hand, right? Even though I drink like coffee IV, but whatever. You know, they'll be right there watching, and then they'll leave, and then they'll come back and they'll watch, you know, and I'm like, oh,
They're tough.
here
they're
we
tough.
go, and this happened.
They're
a few
going to
times.
complain. They're going to complain.
And they're like, you do it better than I do. You do it better than I did.
That is a compliment.
And they've done it for years, and I'm just like, I like you.
So one of our friends had given me a referral. This is again when I was doing stuff on the side and asked me to paint something. They had this, you know, like in like a high ranch house or a raised ranch house.
Yeah.
They took the wall down to the kitchen.
Yep.
So then they have to put the beam in, whatever.
Yeah.
And the guy told me that he has had to tape that every year. Whatever. Whoever's coming in, they had to retape it, repaint, whatever.
Here comes Michelle now.
So I come and I
Tool
do-
time.
And I did haircut. I put my tools on. I went there and I taped it And I mean, like, I'm meticulous. You know, like, you know how,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
we're like,
like,
I'm like, you know, I'm not
It's
just
got to be smooth like a
It's
baby's
gotta
ass.
be. You can't tell that there has ever been any taping on that wall.
Yeah.
Let it dry.
Right.
Put another coat on it and sand it. If it's not smooth, like you can't tell.
Right?
So I did it. And this guy happened to be in construction too.
Yeah.
And so I was finished and I was like, I'm done, whatever. He's like, I just want to tell you, I had guys that
Right.
have fixed this before and it never looked that good.
That's because you need a female. No offense, guys, but you need a female
Well,
because
we're
they're
more-
going to sit there and work
They're
it.
faster and they just want it to be done, where we're more
Or
like,
yeah.
it's got to be.
Give me
like,
the money.
Yeah, we're not like that.
No.
But anyway, that was a compliment too. So I get what you're saying. Like, you know, when you're doing it.
But you get nervous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm like, oh, this guy's going to be a
You know me. I'm
You know,
sitting
like-
here. I got my seatbelt down already, right when I
because
walked
you
in.
know, the ones that have been in the business or done stuff before, you know they're going to be more,
Oh, they're
a pain.
more.
They're more, like, meticulous.
Shall I
They're-
say anal?
yes,
you
critical.
know? Yeah,
More
they're
critical.
more anal,
More
and
critical.
they're more watchful.
But when they compliment you, you know that's a high compliment.
Oh yeah, like I walked out of that house and I was feeling like, that's right. I could paint anything
That's
now.
it, I did it.
Thank you. Give me the brush. I'm good.
Show me that brush. Yeah.
You know, and then you think to yourself, oh well, maybe like that means I'm professional.
You are a professional.
I know, but it's
Well, you
so
don't think of
funny.
yourself that way, but
Right,
you are.
it's so funny because everybody's like, well, that's why I called you, I'll hire a professional. And every time somebody says that, it doesn't sit like in me, like, like it should. Because I'm looking around like, where is that? Where's the professional?
Who are you talking about?
Right, but I
It's
get
true,
why
you
people
are
do
professional.
that, you know what I'm saying?
You are a professional.
Well, it's been rough when you have been discriminated against for being a female when I first started this, so that's a rough thing.
Oh, right.
That's a rough thing.
When you're in construction, in any kind of construction.
Yeah, like, oh my God, you're a woman. And then I'll be like, and this was of course before
Yes, I am.
all that other, we don't know what's going on with you. But I'd be like, last time I checked, yes. Oh no, we can't have you do the job. We can't have you do the job. And sure enough, Michelle, boom, they call back and be like, well, they messed it up.
Oh, you have to fix it. Yeah.
Now I got to go back and fix it. And I'll be like, well, I'm going to fix your ass. I'm going to charge you double. And I do. And I have back then because I used to get so upset about that. Because I know the men who did it probably charged top dollar.
Of course they did.
Okay? Whereas back then when I started, I always tried to be, more reasonable than if a man was doing it.
Yeah, but you're doing the same work.
I understand, but, my thought process was different back then to be like, okay, well, there's not that many female painters, so, I'm not going to get respect as it is. House cleaning, yes, I got respect, like, most of the time, except for those couple of ones that I, said to you about. Which blew me away because of the fact that I normally would be, I guess, more disrespected as a painter than I thought as a housekeeper, right? But
Yeah.
it didn't really turn out that way. It was kind of even, which is interesting back then. This is going back 20-something years ago, so.
Yeah. Well, everybody had a different mentality back then.
True, but they did not want a female painter. No. And when I left these people, they were like, we want a female painter. I mean, they actually called me back to do more rooms.
Yeah, that's good.
And that kind of helped me.
Usually when you get into the project and you do something for somebody, they'll see your work and then it's really nice.
It did help me back then because I felt like I was almost stereotyping myself, really, because society said,
Right.
it's got to be a man who's going to paint your house, and it just never sat right with me. But now, when I work with contractors and stuff like that, they know. Like, you better respect that bitch. And they know it. They know it.
Sometimes you have to demand the respect, too.
I just give them the respect now, but they know enough not
Right,
to.
but I mean, the way you carry yourself, you just demand the respect.
Oh, well.
But you know what I'm saying. Like, even as a broker, I'm a broker, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, now, it's okay, but years ago, it was just basically a male-dominated kind of role.
Yes,
To be the broker.
yes. And now I think the women have actually taken over that,
Yeah,
don't you
there's
think?
more women that are realtors than there are men. But yes, I think you get that in any kind of profession or occupation.
Probably. But it was something that it was internal for me, you know, because I just always had that feeling that, like, you know, back then, that they were going to judge or they were going to be like, no, you know, because there wasn't any female painters back then at all.
Right. But you paved the way for yourself. That's a good thing.
That's right. And now there are more.
Right.
Now there are more. That's good. You know, and we are getting the respect and we are getting...
And to have your own company and be the owner of your own company is huge too. You're not just working for somebody else.
No, I mean, sometimes I want to fire myself, yes, but, you know, like, who the hell writes this stuff? You know what I mean? Like, why?
You're fired.
You know, and I've done it. I've actually been like, you're fired, and I freaking go sit down for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Because
just take a break. You need to go take a break.
You need to just step away from the project. Step away, because sometimes you just get so wrapped up in it and you start dreaming about it and start having nightmares about it. I mean, I've woken up in my sleep with nightmares, just like that garage I did. Oh my God, the floors.
Yes.
You know, here we are, and this is going to bring me to the next thing.
She epoxied the floor.
Okay, so I'm epoxying this garage floor. It came out sweet, okay? Beautiful. Everybody's happy. And when I did it, it wasn't as humid or hot. Okay, until the next day. The next day, this freaking heat wave came over. I don't know where the hell it came from, but it's here. It was there then, and it's still here. So I actually was having nightmares because I had to tell the tenant she can't park in the garage for 40 days. She's like, oh, all right, no problem. Text her. Better make it 5.
Oh, because of the humidity.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh man, you
control.
You sticking, forget about it. Okay? She's like, well, what do you want me to do? Because I'll stay out another day, because she was nervous. I said, look, I'm having freaking nightmares about this shit.
She didn't want to ruin your floor.
Yeah, she doesn't want to. It's beautiful, she said. I said, look, we have to test it. Well, what do you want me to do? I want you to take your truck, and I want you to go in the garage, and I want you to park the truck for 15 minutes. I want you to get out of the truck, walk on it, and wait for 15 minutes, right? Okay, so she parks the truck, she gets out of the truck, and I'm texting her, did you feel like you were squishy? Did you feel like you were sticking when you walked from the truck out? Not at all. All right, well, now I know it's human ready. Is it going to be vehicle ready? That's the question. So she went in, she backed up, she went in, she backed up. She sat there for 15 minutes. I said, text me when you know. And of course, at this point, I am like freaking out because my nightmare going to come true. That's the question, right? So she texts me and she's like, it looks the same as when you did it. I was like, amen. So now I start jumping around the yard as hot as it was. I'm like, yes. You know what I'm saying? So I have a party with myself and my dog. It's beautiful.
That's so good.
Right? So she's like, well, now what do you want me to do? I'm like, oh, okay. But park the truck overnight. Park it in there. Shut the door. Park everything. We're good. Text me in the morning because now it's going to be overnight.
Oh, yeah.
Text me in the morning. I'll make myself a note. I'm sure I'll text you. Blah, blah, blah. Sure enough, this morning, like clockwork, when I pulled out and the paint is still there, everything looks beautiful, I was like, you are my girl.
That is great. Because having to do that twice with the smell of that
man.
stuff.
Well, I'm already outside working in this heat with the humidity and everything. Anyway,
right.
I've got, you know, an IV of coffee and I've got an IV of a water bottle.
You have to.
Running through me at the same time.
Of course.
And I'm not pissing. So you know it's hot.
Oh, yeah.
You know it's hot, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know, obviously outdoor projects, it's best to do in this, you know, spring, summer, fall, we're good. But a lot of people don't realize and understand that one of the best times to paint interior is going to be in the winter. Because I'm not fighting humidity. I might not be as busy. Where I got this one pulling me this way, this one pulling me that way. Let's go here, let's go there. You've got a better shot at getting the project done. People don't mind. When I go to do something in the winter, it's like, you know, what, 15 degrees out, 20 degrees out, whatever it is. I'm going to crack the window so I don't die.
Right.
This has nothing to do with them.
Right.
I don't want the paint fumes to be filling. I have enough, as you can see, right? I mean, my brain's a little off, right? You know, the paint just works a little bit more easier. Everything just flows a little bit more better. You know, the only thing you have to worry about is a blizzard. That's it, because I'm not the mailman. I will not be there if it's a blizzard. You know, But do you agree,
But
Michelle?
yes,
I mean,
because you don't have to fight the humidity. Wintertime is better for you because of all the like everybody wants to do a project in the spring or the summer or the fall, right? Like they have things to do, spring cleaning, summertime. Okay, I'm home, we have more things to do out, whatever. And then the decks or the exterior
of the whole house, all that kind of stuff.
Right. Because then people see the stuff that needs to be repaired or whatever. At least in the wintertime, you're not really worried about the outside.
No, you're not really worried about the outside, and you want to, a lot of people too at that time are thinking, Michelle, you think about this, like after the holidays, a lot of people the wheels start to turn and be like, well, we got to get the hell out of here. We got to move.
Right.
For some reason or another, everybody gets a case of the ass in the winter because they're just like, it's snowing, it's
they're
cold.
Stuck in the house.
Right, but the wheels turn. It's cold, it's snowing. I'm getting too old for this shit. That's what I gotta go out and plow. I gotta do this, that, and the other thing, right?
A lot of work, yeah.
So now they're like, oh, well, we're gonna call Michelle because we're out of here.
And
yes, they might not call you until February,
right? A good time to start prepping your home is really in January, February, because you want it to be on for even the winter. If you list your house in the wintertime, those are serious buyers.
Oh yeah.
Those are no joke buyers. They're gonna buy no matter what. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you start prepping your house in January, February, I mean, the holidays over, you don't have people coming, you don't have to worry about it. January, February, you start doing it, put it out for March. By April, May, June, you're done.
And you're the hell out. And you're missing the snow next year.
That's right.
You're missing the cold weather.
Right.
I mean, I just find that, it's a trend, I think. And it might be,
in the last
you might be right.
4 years, that's basically everybody's going south.
Yeah, but you may be right. They're stuck in the house. What do we do? They're looking at these four walls going, oh, it looks the same.
Yeah.
We got to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Or something.
And they want a different look, so they'll call you and say, I want
I was thinking, well, maybe I like this, plum or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't with this color anyway.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Yep.
They're watching a lot of HGTV. That's another thing. What else are you doing?
Yeah, I hate that show.
No, I don't like the channel either.
I mean, the channel. I mean, you know what? I used to love it.
Yeah.
I used to love HGTV.
It got too commercial now.
Yeah, I got too commercial. But I used to love it. It gives you good ideas, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they started doing the, showing houses thing, I was like, just
yeah, right, exactly.
That's what I do all the time. Like, I don't. Yeah. I go into hundreds of houses a year.
Well, that's where the blue ceiling came from.
Yeah, from HGTV.
Okay. Yeah, and people are like, yeah, they see it on there, they love it, and then, they don't love it.
I actually saw this somewhere recently, where, like, if you have a porch, and your ceiling of your porch, if you paint it baby blue, there's something about that. I forgot what they said.
Yes, I heard something about that too, but I've done it, and they still don't like it.
Okay, never mind.
They still don't like it.
What's the reason why? I can't remember the reason.
I don't know. It was some kind of luck thing or something. It was some kind of...
It stuck in my head because I was like, why would people do that?
No, it was some kind of bring something.
I actually like the wood look on the...
Yeah, well, if you're gonna... Then I try, well, do we not like the daytime blue? Do we want to try twilight?
Well, let's go. That brings you back into, like, lighting and stuff, too, right?
Right. Well, do we want to try that blue, like the navy blue? Do you want to feel like maybe you can hang stars up there or something?
Starry night, whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They don't like that either. Oh, that's too charged.
Then keep it white, people.
No, I got to change it back. I don't think I like it.
You really had to do that a couple times?
Yes.
Oh, see, that would drive me crazy. I, first of all, hate to paint ceilings.
I mean, one ceiling, what the heck? One ceiling is one ceiling.
The specks get on your face, your neck hurts, your arms are going.
It used to be like that, but if you know how to, if you learn what works and what doesn't, your body doesn't feel as bad. And don't get me wrong.
Get used to it.
Every once in a while, you're looking up and you might get that twitch. Right there in your neck, and you're stuck.
I hate it.
No, you're stuck though. So I've been stuck.
You're like,
and thank God nobody's been there because I'm like, and you're trying to like turn and it hurts.
That's no joke. Yeah, I don't mess with that. I was in a car accident. It wasn't my fault, but got whiplash really bad, my neck, whatever.
Yeah.
And I doing something like that, I'd be going to the chiropractor.
Yeah. No, I mean, it doesn't bother me. I've a couple of people that have worked for me. There's only a couple of them that will do, can and will do ceilings. They don't like it, but they'll do it. One ceiling looks like the next ceiling, like the next ceiling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The one wall looks like the next wall, like the next. Same thing when I clean a house. It's every house, even though it's different, it's still cleaning the same freaking bullshit. It's still the same.
Right.
So you see one house, you see them all, unless there's those ones that stick out. You know, when we
like
have
the really
bugs and dirt
dirty
and whatever.
ones. Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
they do stick out.
Yeah,
But I
well,
like seeing the transformation of something that, like if you're doing something like painting something, it looked pretty crappy before,
Yeah.
and how you transformed it into something beautiful. It's like you look back and you go,
Yeah, and
doesn't that give you like
and
a
I
great
get yelled at for that.
satisfaction?
But did you take before pictures? Did you take after pictures? All right,
She needs
would
to
you
take
please
before.
relax?
We need the before and after pictures. Yes, you need that.
Well, a lot of yours are on a listing.
What do you mean?
Because if I send you pictures of the home that I've been in that I did for you, you have the listing in order to freaking look back at what it used to be.
Oh, right. Well, that's if I got. Well, that's. I like you to do it before I get the listing.
No, I understand that. But you originally go back to the listing and look at what the house looked like before.
Oh, right. If somebody
and then
buys
when
it.
I walk in there.
Yeah, right. No, that's true. But I like getting your picture of like this. Like you stand in one spot, take the picture, go in that same spot, take the picture of the next one.
Yeah, I got time for that.
You will have time for that.
I got time for that. That's what happens when I put the paintbrush in my hand. I'll be like, oh shit,
Yeah,
I
but
gotta
see-
take a picture for the show.
But see, the thing is, that's why I like doing video photography. Like I like all that. Like that's what I do. So I like that. Like you know what I mean. Like you're just doing the job. You don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
Like,
I'm
I
thinking
like
of you,
it.
Michelle, when I'm doing the
I-
job.
I-
Unless you're sending me someplace where I'm like bitching you out because these people are crazy or whatever. Or it's a big hot mess.
I don't send you to crazy people.
No. Well, but it could be a
I'm
big
just-
hot mess. It could be.
Well,
a big
there
hot
are big
mess.
hot. We have big hot messes.
Okay.
How about the ones? What about the one that you had to scrape the floor? Where were we that you had to scrape the floor for somebody? What house was that?
Was that Cedar?
I think so.
That was a nightmare.
Yeah. But you know what? You did a great job. I mean, what a difference.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And that's when I want the before and after picture.
Yeah, but that was in the listing. It had to
Yeah,
have
but
been
no,
in the
see,
listing.
I send on to these houses with me, and we need to take befores before you start working, before I list the house and take pictures of the actual listing.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what.
whatever makes you happy, Michelle. I mean, I'm just here to paint and make you happy. That's it.
And there we go, back to the.
Right, come on, get happy. We all just a happy place
We
right
went back
now.
to the Partridge Family. That was full circle.
Yeah.
That's a wrap.
It's a wrap up. Before we go, I want to just take a minute to thank everybody who's been watching our videos, and their support and their love does not go unnoticed. Again, if you guys do want to ask us a question, tell me what shirt to wear, ask Michelle what's going on with, your house or whatever, feel free. Feel free.
If there's any topics that you would like us to discuss,
Yeah, we'll do it.
give you our perspective on things, whether it's the market or how to.
How to beautify your home.
Exactly. We do love and appreciate you guys.
Join us next time for Let's Get Your House
Let's
On.
get your house on. You like our new sign? Let's get your house on. All right, guys. See you later.
Ciao.
Remember to like and share.